Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Shaskelson. Good morning, Ms. van der Heer. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Chair, today's witness is Mr. Mnisi, I'm not sure if Mr. Mnisi's been sworn in yet, but there is a fair amount of housekeeping to deal with before we start.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Mnisi.
Chairperson, good morning to yourself, greetings to the commissioners, evidence leaders, everyone in the House.
Thank you. Please state your full names for the record.
Chairperson, my names are Gareth Mnisi.
Yes, and please leave your mics on throughout. Yeah. Are you going to swear or affirm?
I'm going to swear, Chair.
Do you swear that the evidence you are going to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Thank you.
Chair, Commissioners, you may have seen that there was an application for a certain part of Mr. Mnisi's testimony to be heard in camera. I'm still confident that we can resolve this issue without a full-blown application, but what we've agreed for the purposes of today is that I will certainly not ventilate any of those issues in open commission. For the purposes of taking Mr. Mnisi through his statement, I might merely ask him to confirm certain paragraphs without reading them, so that the content of the paragraphs is confirmed. Commissioners know what they say, but it's not ventilated publicly or shown publicly. And hopefully over the weekend the parties can resolve how to sort out this problem. We're confident it can be.
Thank you. On that approach, Ms. van der Heer, I don't think there's much to respond to, at least at this stage, not at this stage.
I confirm that we've reached that agreement at this point in time, Commissioners and Mr. Chairman, and we're happy to proceed on the basis as suggested by Mr. Shaskelson. May I please?
Thank you.
And then just to check that we're all on the same page in relation to documents. Leaving aside the in-camera application, which we don't need to deal with, there should be 6 files. The first file is a file of Mr. Mnisi's statement. And sorry, Mr. Mnisi, can you, while I'm going through the documents, can you also check that you've got that you have everything that you need as well?
May one of the attorneys please go over to just also make sure.
Sorry, Mr. Mnisi, I've just been told that you, like me, are going paperless today. That'll be great for me and you to be on the same page, but I'm going to be referring to file numbers for the purposes of the commission. And there is I just need to clarify with you that that you'll understand me when I refer to particular page numbers, because although the numbers stay the same, initially they were bundled differently. So if you're on if what I take the commissioners through doesn't match what's on your screen, let me know, and then I can refer to both references. So Chair,
Sorry. Mr. Minister, does this mean you have an electronic version of the files or not really?
Yes, Chair. I've got
Oh,
electronic
electronic.
versions that were submitted to myself in 4 separate bundles.
Okay, all right.
so Chair, the first file is Mr. Mnisi's statement file, and it's a small file, but because there was a supplementary statement and then we realized that the Regulation 10.6 notice to which the statement responds wasn't in the bundle anywhere, we've added them at the end, but the pagination is not consecutive. So the original statement runs 1 to 37, and then the supplementary statement and Regulation 10.6 notice start again at 1. And I'm just looking at Mr. Mnisi as I run through. Then file 2 is the annexures to the original statement. And that runs from page 1 to 437. Files 3 and 4 are WhatsApp chats and annexures to WhatsApp chats. And Mr. Mnisi, this is where my organization changed from the original one. The numbers stay the same, but I have file 3 of WhatsApp chats running from 1 to 329.
My file 3, Chairperson and Evidence Leader, is up until 669.
Sorry, up until?
669.
Yes, that was my original one as well. That was called Bundle 3 to begin with. Yeah.
That's the one.
Okay, so I'll know how to direct you as well as the Commission. And then, so Chair, file 3 is 1 to 329, file 4 is 330 to 664. Sorry, Mr. Mnisi, did you say your file 3 went to?
669. 669.
669?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 664 in terms, 669 including the index, excluding the index, it's 664.
Okay.
My third bundle.
So, and the pagination is the actual physical numbered page numbers on the page.
The last one on my pack, Chair, is 664.
664, great. Then, Chair, there is a file 5 of additional documents and file 6 of additional documents. Mr. Mnisi, that's the old bundle 4.
Okay.
And in its new iteration as files 5 and 6, file 5 runs to 1 to 229, file 6 runs 230 to 541.
541, that's me.
Great. And then there's the in-camera application at the end of it all. Mr. Mnisi, if at any stage I don't give you the old bundle reference and you're looking in the wrong file, just call me out on this, because I should be able to keep track of it all, but I may need some prompting.
And for now, do we just keep file 1 in front of us?
Yes, for now, file 1 and 2, because file 1 speaks to the annexures in file 2. And with that preamble, Mr. Mnisi, I'm going to take you through your statement. And as we've explained to your attorneys and counsel, the way we structure these proceedings is that we take you through your statement without asking any sort of intrusive questions or questions designed to test the version in your statement. You get the opportunity to tell your story without interference to begin with. When we get to the end of your statement, then the nature of the questioning changes. So you don't need to be suspicious of me at this point. There will come a point at which you do need to be suspicious of me. But how I thought we should deal with with leading you through the statement is really, I will take you to the questions that were asked you in the Regulation 10.6 notice. You will then be able to respond on the terms that are that you set out in your statement, because your statement responds to that Regulation 10.6 notice. So I'll be moving between the notice and the statement, and from time to time, when you refer to annexures in your statement, I'll ask you to identify them, and they'll be in file too.
Also, Mr. Mnisi, there may be some clarity-seeking questions here and there, but as Mr. Shaskalson says, those will not be probing. So some of them will come from us.
Okay.
Thank you.
So perhaps, Mr. Mnisi, the best place to start is at page 36, where you have signed your main statement. And can I just ask you to confirm that the signature that we see on page 36 of file 1 is your signature, and that you confirm that the contents of your statement are true and correct?
Yes, Chair, I confirm that's my signature. I further confirm that the contents of my statement are true.
And while we are on this basis, can you also then go down to the supplementary statement, which is at page 2 of the supplementary statement, and confirm that that too is your signature and that the contents of the supplementary statement are true?
Chairperson, I confirm on my physical pack, supplementary statement, the signature is indeed mine. I further confirm the contents of the statement.
And then, as I mentioned earlier, the statement, the main statement, responds to a notice that was sent to you by the Commission. Can I ask you to go to page 4 of file, well, supplementary page 4, file 1, and just confirm that the notice that we see at that renumbered page 4 is indeed the notice to which your statement responds?
Chairperson, I can confirm it starts with a heading at paragraph 2.3.
Then if we go back to the start of the statement, you identify yourself in paragraph 1, and maybe you can just explain to the Commission what your position is as you set out in paragraph 1, and then we'll go further.
Thank you, Chair. In paragraph 1, I state that I am an adult male, and I'm currently the Chief Financial Officer of the City of Tshwane Metropolitan Municipality.
Then in paragraph 4, at the bottom, you refer to the notice that we've just directed, and in paragraph 6 to 9, you raise certain concerns in relation to privacy and confidentiality. Sorry, can we take this off the screen? Paragraph 6 to 9. I don't want you to read them out, but I just want you to confirm that the correctness of what you set out in paragraph 6 to 9.
Yes, see, I confirm.
Then in similar fashion, in paragraphs 10 to 14, you respond to paragraphs 2.1 and 2.2 of the notice. Again, I just want you to confirm the correctness of your response without reading it into the record, and we're certainly not going to display it. But I would like you also you refer in that regard in paragraph 14 to annexure GM1, And can you confirm that GM1 is the document that we see in file 2 at page 3?
SC, paragraph 10 to 14, I confirm the content of the statements. Further, in my bundle 2, GM1, I confirm it is my annexure to this response.
And if we can then go back onto the public record, as it were, and if we go to, before we go back onto the public record, I think we should probably deal with the supplementary statement on a similar basis because it essentially speaks to the same issues. So can I ask you to confirm at pages 1 and 2 of the supplementary statement the correctness of paragraphs 3 to 7 of the supplementary statement?
Supplementary statements, paragraph 3 to 5 on the first page, I confirm, Chair. 6 and 7 on the second page, I further confirm.
Now we can go back onto the public record, and the starting point is the question that was asked in paragraph 2.3 of the notice, which will be found at page 5 of the supplementary record. That question was, what is the nature and extent of your relationship with Sergeant Tshwane and Nkosi, and when and how did it commence? And maybe if you can respond to that, well, you have responded in paragraphs 15 to 17, but maybe you could read out your response, and if there's anything you want to say in addition to that or to amplify that, feel free. You don't have to, but if there is, at any stage when I ask you for these responses going forward, if there's anything that you want to amplify, you're always at liberty to do so. So can I then ask you to give us your response to that paragraph 2.3?
Chairperson, thank you very much. At paragraph 2.3, paragraph 15, I confirm that I regard Sergeant Nkosi as a close personal friend of mine. Our relationship did develop over a period of time. As our friendship developed, we found ourselves socializing regularly. We also shared certain interests and hobbies, Chair, of common nature, such as biking, sports shooting, and of course, an appreciation for good food. Chairperson, in short, our friendship was based on compatibility and common interest. I first met Sergeant Nkosi through a mutual acquaintance, better known as Mr. Siphiwe Mashile. At the time of our introduction, Sergeant Nkosi arrived on a motorbike, which immediately, of course, drew my attention and piqued my interest as a result of my own interest in biking. We, after this, met up occasionally, then later on, to a point of seeing each other on a regular basis. Chairperson, simply put, we became good friends.
Can I make a request? Good morning, Mr. Mnisi.
Morning, Commissioner.
And it will apply to all the questions. So when a question is asked, when, our expectation is that you give a date as well, so that at least we know it's 2016, 2015, or 2010. Okay. But if you just confirm the friendship and you don't give us the date and the timeline, it becomes problematic. And it applies to all the questions.
Okay.
So as you expand, if you can give, it doesn't have to be the exact date, but you can say more or less between 2015 and 2016. Then it gives us an indication.
Okay,
thank you, Mr. Chaskalson.
Thank you, Commissioner. The question in paragraph 2.4, which appears at page 5 of the supplementary bundle, was explain the frequency or number of instances of your meetings or interactions with Sergeant Nkosi and the purpose of such meetings or interactions. Please also indicate whether you've discussed or informed Sergeant Nkosi of any matters relating to City of Tshwane or Tshwane Metropolitan Police Department. If you have done so, please explain what the legitimate basis, if any, was for so doing. And you respond to that at page 4 of your affidavit from paragraph 18. And maybe if you can, again, read your response, amplify anything you want to amplify.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Paragraph 18, I confirm that I met up with Sergeant Nkosi on a number of occasions during the course of our friendship. Chairperson, I cannot state the exact number, the frequency of these meetings, unfortunately, at this stage. I can, however, confirm that we saw each other on a regular basis and that we did spend a considerable amount of time in each other's company, of course, time and work schedule permitting. I met Sergeant Nkosi during an extremely difficult and emotional turbulent period in my personal life, Chair. At the time, I was going through a deeply painful and hostile divorce, which placed me under immense emotional strain. I found Sergeant Nkosi to be a good listener. I found myself confiding in him increasingly, seeking personal guidance and advice, relying on him for support with respect to the personal challenges that I was facing at the time. Chairperson, I felt that I could trust him and that he would not betray my confidence. He is an older gentleman than I am, and obviously I found within his life experience, which he often shared with me, of great value and of assistance to guide me during this extremely difficult period and time of my life. I did find it easy as our friendship grew, Chair, to seek his counsel. I also found him to be a caring individual. Looking back, I can say I regarded him as a brother. Always there for me, was kind, was caring, was protective, sharing words of comfort when the same was needed. We also, of course, had some good times and fun, Chair, whether we went shooting, biking, or just socializing. Paragraph 21, as our friendship grew closer, we became familiar with each other. We would occasionally share some work-related frustrations and challenges that we were experiencing. I believe it is natural for friends to discuss these kinds of issues. Just to expand, it was not anything sensitive in any nature or form.
The next question was in paragraph 2.5 of the notice, again on page 5 of that supplementary bundle. And it was, have you received any payment or benefit from Sergeant Nkosi, whether directly or indirectly? Please also address whether you received payment from a third party through Sergeant Nkosi. And your response again at page 5, it's paragraphs 22 and 23.
Chairperson, I have not received any payment or benefit either directly or indirectly from Sergeant Nkosi. I further confirm that I have not received any payment or benefit from a third party from Sergeant Nkosi. I do, however, wish to state on a few occasions Sergeant Nkosi accompanied me to meetings or gatherings in instances where I might have felt unsafe or vulnerable purely as a friend. I never perceived this or understood him accompanying me as a benefit of any sort for either of us.
Then in paragraph 2.6, you were asked, have you ever met Sergeant Nkosi in the presence of Mr. Mpole Kukela? If so, what was the purpose of such meetings? Did the meetings relate to the business of the City of Tshwane and or the TMPD? And your answer is at top of page 6 from paragraph 24. Again, just bearing in mind the point made by Commissioner Kumalo, if you can give us dates in relation to this answer.
Thank you, Chair. I can confirm I did meet Mr. Mpole Kukela in the presence of Sergeant Nkosi and a gentleman known as Mr. Spio Mashile. At the relevant time, Mr. Lekulela was an official within the City of Tshwane's Group Financial Services Department. I cannot, for privacy and confidential reasons, go into the details as to what transpired between the two of us, as it was a workplace-related issue. At the time, or at a point in time, I can confirm I transferred Mr. Mpole Kukela to the Logistics and Auction Division within Group Financial Services. Mr. Kukela was obviously dissatisfied with the transfer and viewed this as a personal attack on himself. The relationship between us became strained, I might say, and caused me, as I normally would, reach out to try and clear the air. I then approached Mr. Spio Mashile to request Sergeant Nkosi, which I had known him as a childhood friend of Mr. Lekukela, to facilitate the discussion between us. At this stage, I was not very close to Sergeant Nkosi, and it is for this reason, Chair, that I had to request Mr. Spio Mashile, the individual who introduced me to him earlier on, to facilitate the discussion. This, Chair, can confirm accord in the later part of 20